Hello everybody, today I thought I would look up a little bit about this whole thing with Prince Charles's funeral. I just wanted to know, considering there was a few people making the videos this week to say that Charles is dead. So it says King Charles III's funeral plans are being reportedly updated since being diagnosed with cancer last month. According to a report by the New Zealand Herald, preparations for the funeral have been in motion since the day after the late Queen Elizabeth was buried in 2022. And his funeral is called Operation Menai Bridge. Anyway, let's go to the next bit. So there you go. The death of Prince Charles sometime in the future. It's already organised. They say that they do these things with monarchs. It's already organised. I suppose you'd have to have it organised, but blimey. Yeah, we're just a piece of meat, aren't we, really, for that? You know, we've already... Well, anyway, I don't think he's very well, to be honest. I just thought one of the last times I saw him speak, he was so feeble to what he was. I didn't think he was very well. But anyway, let's go on to the next bit. It's a bridge to Anglesey Island, which is on the top of Wales. That is quite an old bridge, that one. A few pictures of that luscious sort of castle and a very old Tartarian bridge. That's a Tartarian bridge. They obviously didn't have enough money to get rid of it. But it's a bridge in Wales. Island of Anglesey. I might just see when this bridge was made. Oh, there you go, it's over here. So let's go over here. 1826. There you go, 1826. Menai means, noun, a channel of the Irish Sea between the island of Anglesey and the mainland of North Wales. Famous suspension bridge, 1819 now to 1826. There you go. Famous, let's see why it's famous. I think they're saying here that it's basically Viking. Yeah, it all comes from there. It's probably Roman. It was completed in 1826. It says it was a triumph of civil engineering, the biggest suspension bridge in the world at the time. 16 huge chains. Let's have a look. Why is it famous? Danger of travellers crossing the straits involved. It was completed. So that's why it's famous, because it's the biggest bridge in the world. Well, it was the biggest bridge in the world at the time. It is a nice old Tartarian bridge, I have to say. There we go, there's another one over here with drawings, but yes, very nice bridge indeed. Cool, look at it there. A very nice bridge, but there you go, it's going over a piece of water. Yeah, so what's your thoughts on the Menai Bridge being Operation Menai Bridge? What's your thoughts about that? Well, there you go, it says that it's a famous town. The town Menai Bridge. So I'm just going to have a look at that one, but it says down here that the Duke of Edinburgh was Operation Forth Bridge, and the Queen II was code word London Bridge. Yes. Obviously there is a town. Is Menai worth visiting? Butterfly was the best I've ever seen. Amazing butterflies everywhere. Right. Well, let's have a look at a few pictures of it. Well, it doesn't exactly look a new place, does it? It looks quite old. It's hard to believe when you see people, as a little Welsh woman, that these people built this bridge. They don't look advanced enough to build that bridge. And you think they were building this 200 years ago, if it's not older than that. So they're saying that for Diana it was Operation Tay Bridge. And then down there, King George VI was Hyde Park Corner. Phillips was Forth Bridge. And that one says the Queen Mother's was the Queen Mother's was Operation Tay Bridge. That's really crazy because look, Camilla's is Operation London Bridge. There you go, London Bridge. I forget because I put the Queen in, but I forget we've got another Queen called Camilla. So obviously when a Queen gets buried, even if you're not really the Queen, you're a consort Queen, because that's what Camilla is. Operation London Bridge is the code name for the plan what happens when Queen Elizabeth dies. Well, that's the same as Camilla's. London Bridge is the code word they use for queens. It's absolutely amazing that that woman, the one that's there now, that looks like Biden's wife, has the same code word as Elizabeth II, who was queen for God knows how many years. And now the other one comes in and she is also London Bridge. Wow. And for William it says they don't have code names. They do have aliases that they use when they go on holiday. What, they're going to call them one of those and go completely... The rest are all bridges or things. They're all bridges. The plan was created as early as the 1960s and September. The phrase London Bridge was used to communicate the death to the Prime Minister. I just want to know why bridges. Why are they all bridges? It doesn't say why they use bridges, just that they use bridges. But it's amazing that that bridge went down in Maryland as well. Yeah, it doesn't say. I've got royals, codes, death, why bridges? Let's try again. When you ask it, it doesn't tell you. It just tells you they've got names of bridges, but it doesn't say why exactly. And it says it happened with the Queen. Let's go and see what the code words were for the older ones. They might have been organising and choosing those names for their code words when they die. But he has Hyde Park Corner. So he got one. Here is Edward VII. Now he was Emperor of India. Obviously, Emperors of India, it's put all them in. I'm not going to press them, but we want to look more at the royal family who put themselves as emperors. And now we know, well, those are those ones. Let's just look it up. So as we did before, an emperor is a grander title than a queen. They're higher. So Queen Victoria's son, before he was King of England, was the Emperor of India. And then there are the other people who were emperors of India out of the royal family. So at the time when the Queen Victoria's son was Emperor of India, he had a higher rank than a king or a queen. They said that's why Victoria decided to become Empress of India, because her daughter was Empress of Germany, rah 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 rah, but there, an emperor being a higher rank than a king. And we know where that comes from. We'll just look that one up again. There you go. Emperor comes from Rome. There's no way the royal family would be emperors and empresses, their wives, or Victoria, Queen Victoria would be an empress if you're not in it. If you're not in it, you'd have a totally different system. But they were called emperors. They're part of the Romans. I always thought he had quite dark skin, to be honest. But the code for his death doesn't come up. But it goes back to the Queen's dad. They said the Queen did it, but it didn't. But there is no... I don't see anything about... them giving him a code word. I've got it in there. It doesn't show anything. On to the next one. Now this is the king that looks just like the Tsar of Russia. Now they're supposed to be cousins, but just look, he looks like the Tsar of Russia. So I think they killed him off in Russia and then he became the King of England. It doesn't say for George V either. I mean, it says somewhere in here, was he euthanized? There's no answer, but it's quite crazy that someone would put that in. I don't think he had, well, anyway, I don't think he had a very nice death. But, oh, there you go. George VI, King George VI. No, that's the Queen's dad, was Hyde Park Corner. But not George V. That's about the later one. Then comes Edward and Mrs. Simpson. Questioning. Nothing on him. But they said it started with the Queen. But it didn't. It started with the Queen's dad. Why is it when you go to the internet it always has to tell you different things? Just to show you, right? Henry VI of the UK was Henry II of France. So there's one. Romans, more Romans, because these people have more than one country. There'll be king here and king somewhere else. Do you see the eagles there? Empire. Let's just go down a little bit. There you go, that's exactly it. It's a large commercial organisation owned or controlled by one person or a group. Yes. There you go. Starts from there, goes back. It's all the same thing. What's that? What is the meaning of ampere? Okay, that's nothing to do. Oh, Latin again. There you go. Roman. Judge, arbiter, arbiter, and arbitrator or referee. Instead, you mean empire. This is the state or union of states governed by an emperor, or a union of territories, colonies, or states, and unrelated peoples under the sovereign rule. From Latin, rule, authority. There you go. That's what Charles is. With all the territory countries and, you know, the Commonwealth. Come on, everybody. Romans. There you go. I showed this the other day when I was making the other video about emperors. It's all part of the same thing. Anyway, I was just adding that in, but we started off with Prince Charles and bridges. And it just says it's what they do. They just use bridges. I'm going to try and do this without saying too much, but I'll have to say a few things. So obviously I never made these videos yesterday. This was a case in 2018 where a man murdered his wife, pregnant wife, and 2 children. And then for some reason they gave you masses of information about them. You got their Facebook, police reports, videos, on the drive, all these things. And I started off making my videos by protecting this person. But what it was is that as time went on, things just did not look right. Women don't do that kind of thing, do they? Oh, let's go the stubble of my chin. Let's go round my chin, because females do that, don't they? Women don't do that, but men do that. What I think it is, because obviously I'm a few years on now from this case, it must have had an effect on the phone, you know, make you goddess-like, whatever, because she has big hands. And then what it is they just step over the effect, and then you realise it's not female. Look at the clothes. Do you think they're very feminine-like? And the hands, when they step over the effect, you realise stubble. It's not female. And the hands are a bit strange. It's like almost they're not there and they've been superimposed on the top. Do you see that? Do you see? Look at that. Oh my god, look at that up. Just look at those hands. see it's like they've been put on the top. And then what it is it's really strange because I'll have to show you a picture in a minute. Just for a few frames. They actually look like the district attorney, but I think we show that bit in a minute. Look at that. See, it's a man. What it is at the very beginning, and this is how me and Amy became friends, was over this case. When I first started looking, there you go, look, that's the district attorney. I'll show you it properly in a minute. But this person said that when you slow the footage down, it shows the mistakes. How could a woman turn into that face? I just think this is why. Like there, for instance, they've got like black eyes. I told you they have hazel eyes. Well, later on in the video, she has a blue eye. It's an effect or something. Look, that's the district attorney. Or is it? Oh, I don't know. I'll show you the district attorney. Looks a bit like her brother as well. But look at his hands. What is that? I started off by protecting this woman. I just couldn't believe people were being horrible to her when she died and she was pregnant. Then the more I looked into it, with the dry footage, the police information, the videos, all this stuff about her, millions were watching it. It suddenly didn't look right. I think really, like, you can see a little bit of it's coming along now, that person really has a different hairline. Maybe they're slightly out of the effect again, but at normal speed you're just not noticing it, so I slow it down. And that's why I make the videos I do today, because once you've seen this 2000, I mean, that looks like her brother. I want to play you this bit of the district attorney. We'll talk about that in a minute, but the hairline on this person. I mean, the clothes are so masculine. You'll be hearing it with a female voice. People probably don't even ever think or see what they're looking at. Fingers. But you can't mistake that bit. Look at that. It almost looks like they haven't got any hair. At the time, I realised that they were all in on it. There's products being sold in this, you know, door cameras, stuff like that. Product. Look what we're looking at right now. Things are wrong in the footage. Police are involved. The media are involved. The government are involved. The judges are involved. The solicitors are involved. And the public is involved. This case made women frightened of their boyfriends. See, it's an effect on, it's someone with an effect on them. Look at that. That's who you're really looking at. It so upset me. I realised they were all involved. 2018, these videos were, well, what it was is Amy's daughter said something very interesting. She said, there's something wrong with that case. They're not wearing the right clothes for the era. She said, their hairstyles, the clothes, it's like more 2000s. So I don't think it matters when they make the videos, 10, 20 years, and then they just use them when they need to. This, I think, is a great big social experiment. I was so upset and I worked it all out, and there's no one to go to. Even her parents are in on it, and they're actors. It's just absolutely bananas. So, right back then, 2018. So obviously I put the one out about Prince Charles. So do you see, I've been doing this since 2018, but it didn't start then. It started before that. But they managed to get millions on this case.
The defendant then methodically and calmly loaded their bodies into his work truck, not in a hasty or disorganized way. He was seen from the neighbor's doorbell camera backing his truck into the driveway, going back and forth into the house and back out to the truck 3 different times, 1 time for each of their bodies. He then the truck 3 different times, 1 time for each of their bodies. He then,
by the time he was in prison, he then said that he killed them at the oil fields. So that means the district attorney was lying. It says there, basically what it is he says he thought he killed them, but we had these shadows walking to him on the drive. You couldn't see them, you could just see the shadows on the drive. And then he says that he thought he killed them. And then they had to be put through being killed again at the oil tanks. I mean, it just, this is absolute madness. But anyway, we've just played the district attorney. Yeah, a district attorney saying that when he couldn't have done. Because I'll show you why. So basically, this is supposed to be the neighbour's camera, and what you're looking at is this bit over here. Like I said, I didn't make these videos yesterday, I made them in 2018. This one was not my video, this was someone else's video. Diane from What You See channel. She has died since this. But anyway, there's big lots of story around her, but that's another time. But she had this bit of footage where she'd zoomed in on that car. So what it is the shadow will come across here. Chris Watts is coming this way, which means that his shadow will be behind him, and where it doesn't join the shadow coming in. Anyway, it blew my mind, all of it, because I just thought it was a horrible case, and it turned into that everything was wrong. Of a truck, which is only a few feet away. Anyway, here comes the shadow. He scoops down and picks up that shadow. That's because the children were alive when they left the house. And once the police would have seen that, do you really think the district attorney would have stood up and said that they saw him drag the bodies out when we can see the shadows are moving? And there's two of them, I think, but I think this one's probably the better one. Yeah. So this told everybody that the children were alive when they left the house. And then it's just all this flood of information. Anyway, so making this video in 2018, and the next case was like it, and so forth. And I couldn't believe that all of the Crime Watch Daily and etc, they're the same as this. Yes, poor Diane, she died a few years ago. But thank her very much for doing this video. But I mean, just look at all the angles of everything. But anyway, look, there's that shadow. He scoops down and he picks it up. So, this is why I make the videos like I do. Once you see this one, this was 2018. I'm just very upset that there's just so many anomalies in this case that, well, you just draw your own conclusions. Now we're going to look at her hands. This blew my mind. I'm sorry, you can have bendy fingers. But if anybody can do this, please let me know. Look, this is what you're watching. You're watching this. You have been watching this. At full speed, you don't notice it, only when you slow it down. But it shouldn't be doing things like that. She would have broken her finger. And which finger is she using? I think it's the finger with the ring on. Anyway, has anybody noticed the writing's the wrong way round and her wedding ring is on the wrong finger? She's got it on her right hand, not her left hand. But they've made a mistake about giving it back to us, so they're thinking that it's reversed and then it would be on her left hand, but it's not. But I mean, there's absolutely no way she could stand there and do that to that finger. Well, now it looks like it's her little finger. It's her little finger. But I can't work out whether that's her middle finger and there's her little finger at the end. But anyway, there you go. As if she could do that. Could she do that? Could you do that? You watch that finger in a minute. It's going to loop around the other finger like a snake. Look at that. Could you do that with your finger? Come on, here it comes. There it goes. Wrap round that other finger. And watch the finger. Look, yes, look at that. Look at that. What is that? She had a nail with painted nail varnish on it, and now it's turned into like a big toenail. Did you see that? Did you see that? Look. Finger with the nail varnish on. Watch. Look, where's her nail varnish gone? That's like a toenail stuck on there. A ropey old toenail with a bent back finger. And none of you are noticing what's going on. Could you do that with your finger? Could you really do that with your finger? Look at that. Oh, they're laughing at us, whoever's doing this. Why are they doing this? All I've done is slow the footage down. That is it. No filters, no nothing. I've made this video not because I felt I had to prove any more, just because I thought that everybody would want to, well, they would be half expecting me to do this, and I didn't want to disappoint. But I already struggled quite a lot with this because on Unscrambled months and months and months and months ago, I showed everybody that these pictures were all the same picture. So in a sense, there are only, I mean, I don't know where the new ones have come from, but there's only so many pictures of her we had to go on. And, you know, when you're looking at the pictures, they're actually the same picture, just changed, you know, the reflection or the t-shirt or the background, or, you know, that's it, sort of, you know, these pictures also are very similar. But anyway, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it because I've already shown that it's all wrong, and the amount of videos I've actually made about this. But anyway, so I just want to show you that it is the same picture. It's not the same person, it's the same picture. So it's the same person and the same picture. So, do my little breakdown. Don't forget, I have to get her head to match up. It's quite, like, amazing, really, because it's the same picture. And then always there's a little bit of tweaking. And there you go. It fits right on top, because it would, because it's the same picture. See, there it is, a bit more blown up so you can see it. Same picture. Lines up identically. So that's on that one. I'll take it over here. I've had some real stick about my work. There you go. It's a match. Well, it will be a match. I've had some real stick from people. I've had some really nasty, nasty comments from people. Even only the other day, this person put about 12 messages in and I deleted them all. Because calling me all sorts of swear words and I'm insane, and those come in, and I'm sorry, I haven't done anything. You're shooting the messenger. They are doing it to us. It's the same face, same photograph, same thing, just superimposed on different t-shirts. Anyway, so that's that picture. It takes me a few seconds. So it's not, so the Hillary one and the Nancy one was to show you that Hillary is Nancy and that she's in there. But this one, and the Chris Watts one, is to show you that the faces don't match up no matter how I do it. There's always a bit of head. I'm sorry, it's not just because of this, that and the other. But when you actually put these pictures in, they completely match up. And I've tried to show people before, that picture is that one there. So that picture is this picture on top of there. See? An absolute match. There it is for you. So why would they do that? Why can't other people see this? That they just reuse these pictures. Now, actually, that was the same picture. Let's go back to that one. Where are we? That is the same picture, but I can't quite match it in because they've tilted her head down a little bit. So I can't quite match it in because her head's tilting down. But this picture's the same as this picture. It's the same one again. It is, but I can't quite match it in. Because she's leaning slightly to the right, but it is the same picture. I don't have the facility to just to lean it forward a little bit, but it is the same picture. See, it is, but I just can't quite match it in because the angle on the head anyway is a little bit tilted, but this picture is also the same picture. Got to do my little bit. I can do this, but I can't tilt it like that. I can't just, you know, I'm sorry, I don't have a workshop to do it, or the tools, I don't. Anyway, here we go. I myself don't understand why people didn't see it in the first place and called me a lunatic and all those crazy things. I just don't get why they didn't see this in the first place or can't see it. And it's just absolutely apparent. It probably needs a tiny bit more tweaking to make it a little bit smaller, but once I do, it's the same picture. I just don't understand why people don't see it. So there you go. Could do probably the tiny little bit more tweaking up there, but there you go. It's the same photograph. Gotta make sure our head's the right size. There you go. Ding! A match. And yet you think that these are all separate pictures of her. They're the same photograph. Don't shoot the messenger. Hello everybody, back again. We're back with Shanann having drinky poos. I think it's peanut coladas with the fake stuck on Chris sitting not in front of her. Anyway, I was a bit horrified going through this. First of all, do you see where her hair joins? Do you see where her hair joins? There in the middle, with the sort of plummy hair over the top of another person's hair and head. Do you see it? And then what it was is that she is outside with the wind. But then I noticed that her face was doing this. Now, is this supposed to be hair moving around on her face? Because it doesn't actually look like that. We'll get a bit more into zooming in, but I was just doing the hair to show that the hair is all fake. Anyway, onto that cheek. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it almost looks like someone moving around inside her. But how could that be? But there is some very weird stuff going on there. Oh my goodness, what is that? It's not hair. Please don't write to me and tell me that hair does that on your face. All I know is it's not very nice, as per usual. There's some really, really weird stuff going on there. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if that's the person hologramming underneath her moving around, or whether that is just, I don't know. So all I can think of is this person underneath. It's pretty horrible, isn't it? And even if it was an aging Shanann, she's not 33 then, she's about 50, 60, 70 with skin like that. I don't know what it is because it's got hair on it, but it's not a hairline. Her hairline's further back with these white wispy hairs that come through. There's just so much to show on this. So much. Every video I see the same things. Yes, and she's not sitting on the background of that either. Anyway, as it pans across, she's got a blue eye. She didn't, and then she did. All in a flick in front of you. They're just laughing at us. Her eye changed to blue in front of you, and you didn't even notice. This is not natural, and it's not real, and I just wish everybody would wake up and realise what's going on. You cannot change eyes in the middle. Everybody knows that she supposedly has hazel eyes. Well, that's a blue eye. And now we're on to her, back to her hairline, and there's a mask across her face. Look, see, there's the mask over the top of the person that's sitting underneath with white hairs in their hair. There's the mask. Do you see it? Do you see the mask? You can't fail to see that that is a mask on top of her head, masking over somebody else with the different hairlines, the different coloured hair.